Welcome to the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota of Sayre. Congratulations to the students here today representing your school and community on today's live broadcast. Our contestants today include the school districts of Montrose, Athens Silver, Spencer Van Etten, Sayre's Red Team, and Notre Dame. We are proud to have you here on this stage. These young adults have worked very hard all school year long to earn a seat here at the Scholarship Challenge, and we're so incredibly proud each of them could be here today. Only one of this morning's 5 teams will earn the right to come back for finals on March 11th, a chance at that beautiful Kwasnoski Cup sitting on the edge of our stage, and the first place prize of $3,000 for their school. Since 1981, Scholarship Challenge has awarded $238,275 in prize money from our patrons, sponsors, and stations. We'll add $6,500 to that total this year. The top 8 teams will earn cash prizes. 5th through 8th place teams will take home $250 each. 3rd and 4th place prizes are $500 each. 2nd place prize is $1,500, and the 1st place prize is $3,000. 120 questions are coming your way today on the multiple award-winning Scholarship Challenge, Radigan Media's signature community service broadcast, heard today on 17 radio stations from Corning to Binghamton and Athens, Waverly, Sayre, down to Towanda, and even into Deshore. Thank you for listening today. We appreciate you joining us on your radio, on our live stream at the Choice 102 Facebook page, or on YouTube, or even here live in person in the Sayre Theater. It's our pleasure to be back behind the Scholarship Challenge podium to present questions to some of the best and brightest high schoolers from 8 counties on both sides of the border in this annual battle for the beautiful Kwasnoski Cup. My name is Dave Radigan. I am your host for the day today, alongside my wife Irene Radigan. She is your co-host, and together she and I are only the 2nd and 3rd people ever to host Scholarship Challenge in this 43rd year. For the first 40 years, this program was hosted by its creator, Mr. Chuck Carver, the former owner of WATS and WAVR in Sayre. As we move on with the challenge here this morning, let's meet our first 2 teams on the longest-running radio show in both New York and PA, the broadcast that celebrates the power of thought and the magic of the mind. In today's bracket, which is available on our social media pages, the teams joining us, as I stated earlier, Montrose, Athens, Spencer Van Etten, Sayre, and Notre Dame. We had Sayre here last week. In the Valley area here, Waverly, Athens, and Sayre, each of those 3 school districts submitted 2 teams each to the challenge, and those get divided up into their school colors. So Sayre is back this week with their red team. Spencer Van Etten's team is here. Athens Silver team is here. Montrose is here, and Notre Dame is here. Those on stage with us right now are Athens and Spencer Van Etten. So let's start by introducing the Athens Wildcat Silver team with team captain Thomas Spaulding.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I'm Thomas Spaulding, a senior at Athens. I'm vice president of the school's tabletop club, and I work in my spare time at Judson's Feed Mill.
I'm going to have you give that to us one more time because your microphone wasn't on. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I'm Thomas Spaulding, a senior at Athens. I'm vice president of the school's tabletop club, and I work in my spare time at Judson's Feed Mill.
Excellent. Thank you, Thomas, for being here. It's a pleasure to have you on the stage with us. And to our right of Thomas is Shane Brewer from the Athens Wildcats.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I'm Shane Brewer. I'm a junior. I'm the president of the school's tabletop club. I do band and orchestra, and I plan to go to college for computer science.
Very good. Thank you, Shane. And to his right, Caitlin Blakeman.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. My name is Caitlin Blakeman. I'm a senior. I'm a president for PCA, and I'm in marching band. And I plan to go to Indiana University of Pennsylvania for early childhood education with another special ed major.
Very good. Thank you, Caitlin. And all the way to far stage right from the Athens Wildcat Silver team, Phoenix Green joins us.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I'm Phoenix Green. I'm a junior. I am vice president of our STAD club and student treasurer of Avidum, and I hope to get a degree in nursing.
Very good. Thank you, Phoenix. Those are your Athens Wildcats Silver team. They are advised by Andy McGee. Their principal is Melissa Jewell. I have that card backwards. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Their advisors are Ian Greer and Nathan Harris. Their principal is Bill Clark and Superintendent Craig Stage, both of whom in the audience this morning. Thank you, gentlemen, for both being here. Thank you, Athens Wildcats, for joining us on stage today as we get underway. It's very simple. You just have to have the cards on the correct side of the podium. I've said many times, including last week, if we could just find a good host for this show, it'd be great. Here we go with the Spencer Van Etten Panthers, team captain Bryce Grant.
Hi, I'm a senior this year. I play golf. I'm involved in the National Honor Society. I work as a cook at Ithaca College, and in the fall I plan on attending Clarkson University for mechanical engineering.
Very good. Thank you, Bryce. Cameron Smith to his left.
Thank you. I'm a senior. I play baseball and football, and I plan on studying robotic engineering.
Very good, Cameron. Thank you for being here. Cole Rodriguez.
I'm a senior, president of student council. I'm undecided for college, but I'd like to study aerospace engineering.
Excellent. Thank you, Cole. And far stage left, Jasik Stahl.
Thank you. I am a senior. I play football, basketball, and plan to attend Alfred State for Diesel Tech.
Very good. Thank you, Jasik. Those are your Spencer Van Etten Panthers, advised by Andy McGee, Principal Melissa Jewell, Superintendent Barbara Case. Our judges today are Jackie Bowen. Thank you for coming back once again. Jackie's been a judge here on Scholarship Challenge for quite a long period of time, and we appreciate her support. Also welcoming for the first time, Judge Anthony Almond. Thank you for being here. Recently competed with my wife Irene in Bradford County Dancing with the Stars. He was your partner. You competed with, like you two competed.
I just want to make sure we are
not
competitors.
All right. Well, no. No, although you are very competitive. We also would like to welcome our third judge of the day today, branch manager from Sayre FCCB location, David Decay. Thank you for joining us this morning. With our introductions out of the way, it is now time for Match 1, Round 1 between the Athens Wildcat Silver Team and the Spencer Van Etten Panthers. Question number 1. With the 2022 death of Queen Elizabeth II, Prince William is now the Prince of what UK nation? A title previously held by his father, King Charles III. Time is up on that. Prince of Wales. Question number 2, pencils and paper ready. We're getting right to it today with the tough ones. A monthly bill consists of an $8 service fee plus $4 per 1,000 gallons used. Give an expression to calculate the monthly bill if W is the number of thousands of gallons used. Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
4W plus 8.
4W plus 8 is correct. Great job. That's 10 points for Spencer Van Etten. 35 years after a revolution in this country drove out many Tutsi residents of this country, a 100-day period in 1994 saw nearly 1 million more Tutsis killed by Hutu tribesmen. Name this African nation whose capital is Kigali. Rwanda is the answer there. Question number 4 of the day. The 42 letters of this language's alphabet include the 5 English vowels with accents over them. The main dialects of this language are Silesian, Moravian, and Bohemian. Name this language similar to Slovakian that is spoken in the city of Prague. Czech is the answer we were looking for. Question number 5 between the Athens Wildcats and Spencer Van Etten Panthers, with Spencer Van Etten in the lead. Men with this first name include the Compson brother in Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury, who hates his sister Caddy. Give this first name that is also the cover name of Robert Ludlum's most famous spy and the man of myth who led the quest for the Golden Fleece. Jason is the answer we were looking for. Question number 6. She is the subject of the 2022 Netflix movie Blonde, which is based on a Joyce Carol Oates novel about her marriages to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller. Name this actress who died in 19... Cameron Smith, Spencer Van Etten.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe is correct. Question number 7. What British composer wrote a series of 6 pomp and circumstance military marches, including the one whose tune is often heard at school graduations? Time is up, and Edward Elgar is the answer we were looking for there. Question number 8. In football, which position usually lines up between a tackle and a wide receiver to both block and catch passes? Cameron Smith, Spencer Van Etten.
Tight end.
Tight end is correct. Question number 9. The two chemicals storing the most chlorine and the... Sorry, we're going to start from the beginning. Question number 9. The two chemicals storing the most chlorine in the atmosphere right now are chlorine nitrate and which one with formula HCl? Phoenix Green, Athens Wildcats.
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid is correct. One question left in the beginning of this round. Spencer Van Etten has 30 points. Athens has 10. The question is, give the economic adjective starting with U that describes people who use cash in all their transactions instead of trusting large financial institutions to handle their money. The term is unbanked. I didn't know that one. All right, that is the end of the first 10 questions here in this match between Athens Wildcat Silver Team and Spencer Van Etten Panthers. The score, 30-10, Spencer in the lead. When we come back, it's 10 more questions live from the Sayre Theater on the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. Thank you for joining us here at the Sayre Theater. It is the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. Our thanks to our sponsors for supporting this event and making it possible as we continue for 43 years. That's pretty amazing when you stop and think about it. Wonderful thing to do here at the Scholarship Challenge. So many of the students who are participating up on stage have had parents participate in it as well back when they were in school. Pretty cool. We like to take the opportunity not just to get to know the students, but also to get to know the school districts a little bit. And so before we get back into questions, we're going to check in with Athens Wildcat Phoenix Green to learn more about the Athens Area School District.
Nestled in the endless mountains of northeastern Pennsylvania, Athens boasts a strong tradition of academic and personal development. Throughout the district, students are offered the luxury of career electives, advanced placement, and dual credit courses. Participating in District 4 athletics, Athens has a winning tradition which has produced numerous league, district, and state champions proud to call themselves Wildcats. Activities in Athens are not limited to athletics, though. Students also participate in a wide variety of extracurricular activities to help them develop into well-rounded, successful students. The Athens Wildcats, with distinctive black and silver, strive to present a positive image for our schools and their communities in all their endeavors. On a fun note, we would like to encourage those here in person and listening from afar to attend the Athens Student Actors Guild production of SpongeBob the Musical on May 5th, 6th, and 7th. Finally, the Athens Scholarship Challenge team would like to thank Superintendent Craig Stage, Principal William Clark, and Assistant Principal David Gabriel for their involvement and support. The team would also like to thank Mr. and Miss Radigan and their entire staff of Choice 102 for their support of the school, its events, and the community.
You bet. Go Cats. Thank you, Phoenix Green. Athens Wildcats Silver team up on stage with us here this morning. We'll do 10 more questions, and after that next break, Bryce Grant will give us the bio for Spencer Van Etten. Question number 11 on the day. Both teams ready? Here we go. In 2022, he announced he's giving up the title because he's tired of defending it. Name this current world chess champion. Cole Rodriguez, Spencer Van Etten.
Magnus Cardes.
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Magnus Carlsen.
Sorry, that is incorrect, Cole. We will repeat the question for Athens. In 2022, he announced he's giving up the title because he's tired of defending it. Name this current world chess champion. Thomas Spaulding, Athens Wildcats.
Magnus Carlsen.
That is correct. That was super close, Cole. There was just one little letter in there. That evens the score up now. It's 20-20, all Spencer Van Etten and Athens. Question number 12 on the day. Hampton Court Palace was home to what British king before his death in 1547 and all of his 6 wives? Time is up on that. Kind of a lot going on there. King Henry VIII. Busy guy. Question number 13. Give the pair of correlative conjunctions that best fill in the 2 blanks in this sentence. We'd blank have ham sandwiches, blank peanut butter, as we're all allergic to peanuts. Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Rather and than.
That is correct. Good job, Bryce. SVE takes the lead 30-20. Which state contains the Green Bay National Wildlife Refuge? Cameron Smith, Spencer Van Etten.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is correct. Did I say it right? All right, question number 5 in this round. After the Civil War, he spent 14 years as General-in-Chief of the U.S. Army. What Union general is now famed for the modern warfare tactics he used in his 1864 March to the Sea that stormed through the heart of Georgia? Nobody rang in for that one. William Tecumseh Sherman is what we were looking for there. Question number 6. Greeks, Romans, and Muslims used this art form on floors and even created portraits from them. Name this type of art that combines small pieces of tile, stone, or glass together to make a beautiful picture. Phoenix Green, Athens Wildcats.
Mosaic.
Mosaic is correct. Score is 40-30. Spencer Van Etten's in the lead over Athens at the moment. Born in Kansas, he retired to the farm in Gettysburg, where he had previously entertained Winston Churchill. Name this president who defeated Adlai Stevenson in 2 elections after serving as Supreme Allied Commander in Europe during World War II. Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower is correct. The ruins of this medieval city were discovered in 1867 and included a stone acropolis and temple built by the Shona people. Identify this great ruined city in southern Africa that now lends its name to the country formerly known as Rhodesia. Time is up. Zimbabwe is the answer we were looking for there. Question number 9 in this round, 19 between the two. In his 20s, this poet wrote Lycidas after his time as Secretary of Foreign Tongues under King Charles II. What 17th century British poet who had become blind created the longer works Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained? Answer is John Milton. Okay, final question of this round between Spencer Van Etten and Athens. Spencer in the lead, 50-30. Pencils and paper ready. Give the midpoint of the line segment between the points -3, 17, and 9, -5. Timer, please. Lots of extra time on that one, but still no takers. The answer, if you average the X and the Y coordinates separately, you get 3 and 6. All right, that is the end of 20 questions between the Athens Wildcats and Spencer Van Etten Panthers. Spencer Van Etten is in the lead, 50-30. These questions are all worth 10 points apiece so far. 10 points if you get it right, 10 points off if you get anything wrong. As we move forward now into the third round between Athens and Spencer, when we come back, questions will be worth 20 points each to get them right. Still only a 10-point penalty if you get anything wrong. We're live at the Sayre Theater this morning on 17 great Radigan Media radio stations. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being in the theater. And thank you for being a part of the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast today on 17 radio stations across the Twin Tiers, New York, PA, Corning, Elmira, Southport, Owego, Binghamton, Waverly, Athens, Sayre, Towanda. Great to have you all on board today for this broadcast. Honestly, the single most important thing we do throughout the course of the year in our company, and it is by far the thing we are the most proud of here hosting Scholarship Challenge, and that's why we like to share it with absolutely everyone that we possibly can. Last week on the stage we had Grace Christian, also Sullivan County, Sayre's Blue Team, Waverly's Red Team, and Wyalusing. In the beginning of the competition, Sullivan and Sayre Blue went at it, with Sullivan County winning and going on to compete against Grace Christian. Then Waverly Red Team and Wyalusing went through 30 questions. Wyalusing won that competition and then went against Grace Christian. And between those two, Grace Christian earned the spot for finals on March 11th. Today, we have Montrose, Athens Silver, Spencer Van Etten, Sayre Red, and Notre Dame on stage with us. And only one of those teams will earn a spot to join Grace Christian Academy in finals on March 11th. It's an opportunity to showcase the talents of these fine students across the Twin Tiers, learn more about each of these school districts, and have some fun here at the Sayre Theater on your radio this Saturday morning. The competition began last Saturday, continues today, and for the next 4 Saturdays, if I'm not mistaken. The week before March 11th, we take a break from High School Challenge. All of these students you hear are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, or seniors. On March 4th, we'll take a break from high school and we will revive Middle School Challenge, also known as Junior High Challenge. That will be here in the Sayre Theater on Saturday, March 4th at 10 a.m. And that, for the first time ever, will be a live broadcast of that. So that'll be fun, something different to do just a week before finals and to give these teams a little extra time to prepare. Now, before we get into the last 10 questions between Athens Wildcats and Spencer Van Etten, where Spencer Van Etten is in the lead 50-30, we're going to check in with Bryce Grant, who's going to teach us a little bit about Spencer Van Etten.
Yeah, so the Spencer Van Etten School District is a small rural district centrally located between Waverly, Elmira, Owego, and Ithaca. We presently offer college credit courses in government, economics, calculus, Spanish, biology, and physics, and we offer AP courses in American history, English, chemistry, and computer science. Other programs of particular note include the Key Club, Ski Club, the Sportsman's Club, an agriculture program, and the recently added early degree program through Tompkins Cortland Community College. We are particularly proud of our exceptionally high graduation rate. We have an active student council that promotes student involvement through participation in the decision-making process. Our sports program has demonstrated success inside and outside the classroom, with many of our sports teams achieving academic all-state honors. Our music program has given us numerous area all-state performers, including over 100 students in all-county music and 100 students in the NISMA solo. The music department will also be performing Little Shop of Horrors this year and will be traveling to Florida. We would like to thank Radigan Broadcasting for the opportunity to compete again this year, and we wish the other schools good luck in the Scholarship Challenge.
Thank you very much, Bryce Grant, team captain Spencer Van Etten Panthers on Scholarship Challenge here today. The score, as I mentioned earlier, stands at 50-30. SVE in the lead over Athens. We've got 10 questions left between these two to find out who will advance today here on Scholarship Challenge. We begin with pencils and paper ready for this next one. The element beryllium has an atomic mass of 9. If a mole has 6 times 10 to the 23rd power atoms, estimate the number of atoms in 3 grams of beryllium. Timer, please. No takers on that one. That would be 2 times 10 to the 23rd power, or a third of a mole. Question number 22. The 2022 governor's race in this state pitted Katie Hobbs against Carrie Lake. What state's outgoing governor, Doug Ducey, ordered shipping containers to be double stacked welded together, topped with razor wire, and installed along his state's border with Mexico? Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Texas.
That is incorrect. We'll repeat the question for Athens Wildcats. In the 2022 governor's race, start this a third time. The 2022 governor's race in this state pitted Katie Hobbs against Carrie Lake. What state's outgoing governor, Doug Ducey, ordered shipping containers to be double stacked, welded together, topped with razor wire, and installed along his state's border with Mexico? Time is up. Arizona. Her poem, Lady Lazarus, published after her 1963 suicide, says, quote, "Dying is an art. Like everything else, I do it exceptionally well." What American, once the wife of British poet Ted Hughes, included Lady Lazarus in her poem collection Ariel and wrote the novel The Bell Jar? Sylvia Plath. Question 24. After British scientist William Thomson calculated that the temperature absolute zero was equal to about minus 273 degrees Celsius, he was made a baron by Queen Victoria. And what temperature scale was named? Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Kelvin.
Kelvin is correct. Good job. Spencer Van Etten is in the lead 60-30 over Athens. Question number 25. In 2012, Barack Obama was reelected president after defeating what current Utah senator? Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Romney.
Romney is correct. Question 26. First aid for this condition includes getting out of the sun and rehydrating yourself. As Thomas Spaulding, Athens Wildcats.
Heat stroke.
We're checking in with the judges, and we will accept heat stroke is the answer. Question number 27. He composed a set of symphonic dances based on the music from the... I'm going to start from the beginning. I apologize. He composed a set of symphonic dances based on the music from his West Side Story. Name this American composer. Leonard Bernstein. Question 28, as Spencer Van Etten is in the lead, 80-50 over Athens. 3 questions left. 2 answers needed on this one here. They are connected by Germany's 60-mile-long Kiel Canal. One of them separates Norway from Holland and England from Denmark, while the other separates Latvia from Finland and Sweden from Poland. Name these 2 bodies of water. That would have been a tricky one to get wrong. You would have lost 10 points. The 2 answers we were looking for, North Sea and Baltic Sea. He asked the Lord to create a 3-year drought in hopes of getting ancient Israel to repent. Name this Old Testament prophet who went to heaven in a chariot of fire and who is still invited to attend the Passover meal in many Jewish homes. Time is up. Elijah, the answer we were looking for there. 80-50, Spencer Van Etten in the lead over Athens. Question number 30. Grandpa in this family dies and is buried in a field, and Hooverville is burnt down after his family arrives at its final destination. Give the last name of this family whose ma leads their 1930s trek from Oklahoma to California in John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath. Time is up. The Jode family. All right, and at the end of match 1 between Athens Wildcats and Spencer Van Etten, Spencer Van Etten wins with 80 points over Athens 50. When we come back, we will be joined on stage by 2 other teams. Before we do that, I want to just check in with Athens Wildcats for a second and get your thoughts on Scholarship Challenge today. Thomas Spaulding, the captain, what'd you think?
It was a good match.
Very good match. 2 very good teams. A lot of very competitive teams up here. I mean, you guys are all extremely smart. Shane Brewer, did you have fun today?
It was fun.
Yes, very good. Caitlin Blakeman?
Yep, we're very fun.
Good. Thank you for being here. Phoenix Green?
Oh, quite fun. Thank you.
Glad to have you guys here. Thank you, Athens Wildcats Silver Team, for joining us on Scholarship Challenge. Spencer Van Etten, I'm going to ask you to take a seat in the audience. Actually, I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'm going to ask Spencer Van Etten to stay on stage, and I'm going to ask Montrose to take their place up here on stage with us. It is Scholarship Challenge live from the Sayre Theater. Thank you for tuning in today to the 53rd. I keep trying to do that. I keep trying to add 10 years to the clock. 43rd. Good thing I'm not keeping score today. 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. We are live on stage at the Sayre Theater. The auditorium is open. I keep calling it an auditorium, too. It's definitely a theater. The theater is open. Concession stands are open. There is no cost to get in if you'd like to join us in the theater today to take a watch for yourself. In person Scholarship Challenge. It's a fun environment to be in. These kids are really talented and very, very smart, and they make me pronounce really difficult questions up here on stage. So far, so good, but I've read ahead a little bit, and I know I got some tough ones coming, so we'll see how that goes. Want to thank you for tuning in on the radio, wherever you may be today. Appreciate you being a part of this wonderful broadcast. And also want to say hello to our viewers on YouTube today who are watching from that lens in the back row of the theater over there in the cheap seats, and also on our Facebook live stream. Thank you for viewing along with us. These videos after the live broadcast are over stay up on social media and are actually used as training videos as well for future teams of Scholarship Challenge. So if you're somewhere in the future, like the Jetson family, watching this broadcast from way back in the day of 2023, thank you for watching Scholarship Challenge, and good luck to you in your competition. All right. We have a new team up on stage with us today. The Montrose Meteors are on stage now to take on the Spencer Van Etten Panthers. We'll introduce the Montrose Meteors before we begin. We'll start with team captain Stephanie Somerville.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I'm a senior at Montrose, and I'm the class president. I'm also in National Honor Society and AP Club. I'm also captain of the cross-country team and the track team, and I will be attending Penn State University to study mechanical engineering.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephanie. It's a pleasure to meet you. Next to her, to the right, Dagan Giannoni.
Thank you. I am a junior at Montrose. I run cross-country and track. I am class secretary and vice president of SAD Club, and I also participate in FBLA.
Very good. Thank you. Haley Zapolsky, to the right.
Thank you. I am a senior at Montrose this year, and I'm in the AP Club. In my spare time, I work at Curbside Cravings in Darrow Catering, located outside of Montrose, inside Montrose.
Very good. Thank you, Haley. And to the far stage right, Miranda Walter from Montrose Meteors.
Thank you. I'm Miranda Walter. I'm a junior this year. Some of my activities, I'm the president of SAD Club. I am in AP Club, as well as our ski club. I do tennis, and I'm a third-degree black belt in karate, and I work part-time at Starbucks.
Yeah, not to be messed with, Miranda Walter. Very good. Thank you for joining us today at Scholarship Challenge. Those are your Montrose Meteors. They are advised by Eric Powers and John Kolowski, as well as Principal Eric Powers and Superintendent Chris McComb. Montrose Meteors. Spencer Van Etten Panthers remain on stage with us today. Bryce Grant, Cameron Smith, Cole Rodriguez, and Jasik Stahl. We've got 30 more questions to do on stage for you here today at the Sayre Theater. No rest for the weary here, Spencer Van Etten. So we'll go right into another 30 questions. Question number 1 between Montrose and Spencer Van Etten. Pencils and paper ready. Give the two integers whose sum is 80 if one is 12 larger than the other. Time's up on that one. 34 and 60 plus 12. 34 plus 46 plus 12 would get you to 80. Question number 2. The Space Center in this country is now the European Space Agency's main launch site near the equator. Give the two-word name of this country in northeastern South America whose capital is Cayenne. No takers on that, and now I have to pronounce it for myself. French Guiana. Yep, we'll just keep on rolling. Question number 3. A jalopy is a very old and beaten-up type. Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Car.
Car is correct. See, jalopy, that's more my kind of word, you know? Yeah, there you go. Question number 4 between the Montrose Meteors and Spencer Van Etten. Her most recent album, When Christmas Comes Around, was released just before the start of her job co-hosting the 2022 TV series American Song Contest. Identify this singer whose album, Thankful, was the first to be released after her victory as the original American Idol. No takers there. She must be old now. We play her on so many of our Radigan Media stations. The answer, Kelly Clarkson. Question number 5. Made up of a large subunit and a small subunit, this structure decodes messenger RNA into polypeptides. Name this cell organelle. Dagan Giannoni, Montrose Meteors.
Ribosome.
Ribosome is correct. Great job. Score is 10-10. Spencer Van Etten, Montrose Meteors tied. This author has created the characters Jake Brigance and Theodore Boone, as well as a short story collections set in a fictional county in Mississippi. Identify this author of legal thrillers like the 2022 novel The Boys from Biloxi, as well as The Runaway Jury and The Pelican Brief. John Grisham The answer we were looking for there. Question 7, give the architecture term defined by mymodernmet.com as the ornamental tip of a tower typically associated with Gothic architecture. And Dagan Giannoni, Montrose Meteors.
Spire.
Spire is correct. Great job. Montrose now takes the lead 20-10 over SVE. Question number 8. Give the term defined by the U.S. Tennis Association as a serve that hits the top of the net but is otherwise good. Miranda Walter, Montrose Meteors.
Let
is correct. Question 9. Both the Apatosaurus and the Brontosaurus lived during what geologic period between the Triassic and Cretaceous periods? Bryce Grant, SVE.
Jurassic.
Jurassic period is correct. Score is 30-20. Montrose in the lead. Question number 10. Called Green Mountain when it first began, this company now owns Snapple, Dr. Pepper, Hawaiian Punch, and more than 100 other soft drinks. Identify this company whose single cup coffee brewing machine is designed for use with its pods known as Brant Grice? Or Bryce Grant?
Keurig.
Dyslexic moment for me. Keurig is correct. Good job, SVE.
I think you need some of that.
I could use some, apparently. We'll give that one a check mark for getting it right. Montrose and Spencer Van Etten are now tied, 30 points apiece at the end of round 1. When we come back, 10 more questions, 10 points apiece, and we will hear the school biography for Montrose from Stephanie Somerville. Thanks for tuning in to the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge, presented by Williams Toyota. Thank you for joining us on the FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota, naming rights for FCCB, and presentation rights by Williams Toyota. We appreciate their participation and support of Scholarship Challenge. Honestly, one of the coolest things we do throughout the course of the year. On stage with us, Spencer Van Etten Panthers. They're in their second match of the day. They've had a great day so far. Lots of hard work under these hot lights and hard questions. Montrose Meteors joining us on the stage as well in their first match of the day. We'd like to take a moment to check in with Stephanie Somerville, who's going to tell us about Montrose Meteors.
The Montrose Area Junior Senior High School is the largest high school in Susquehanna County with 560 students grades 7 through 12. Montrose area offers over 20 dual enrollment courses, 8 advancement place courses, and a variety of honors courses. Montrose area offers a large variety of academic, athletic, and co-curricular opportunities and has a noteworthy amount of success in recent years with its archery, cross-country, girls soccer, and instrumental music programs in particular. Most recent, our girls cross-country team finished second in the state, our girls soccer team earned a district title, and our high school archery team won a state title in 3D competition. Montrose Meteor student athletes participate in 15 different sports, and our NASP archery teams, our individuals, are among some of the best in the nation. The school sponsors numerous organizations such as Student Council, SAD, Drama Club, Future Business Leaders of America, Envirothon, and Ski Club. Service to others is important at Montrose area, and multiple organizations promote interactions with younger students and others in the community. Key Club, National Honor Society, and iSafe student team, and Friends of Rachel are active volunteering in and out of school. Montrose area is currently one of the highest ranking schools in the region and has been honored as a U.S. News and World Report Best High School for the last 4 years. Above all, the goal of our faculty, staff, and administration of Montrose area is to help our students learn more, do more, and be more.
Very good. Thank you, Stephanie Somerville, Montrose. Well, at the end of 10 questions between these two teams, we are tied at 30 points each. We've got 20 questions left. Let's see what happens. In 2022, after 17 years of negotiations, the uninhabited Hans Island was finally divided in half by the two countries that claimed it. Name the two countries whose official sharing of the island creates the world's northernmost land border between two nations. Canada and Denmark. Question 12. Give the four-letter word for a stamp in a passport that lets you visit another country for a specific period of time. Cole Rodriguez, Spencer Van Etten.
Visa.
Visa is correct. The narrator of this novel has an affair with a man named Nick of the May Day movement and serves as the concubine of the commander. Name this novel whose protagonist is Offred. The Handmaid's Tale. Question 14. Which state contains the Cape Cod National Seashore and its cranberry bogs? Cameron Smith, Spencer Van Etten.
Maine.
That is incorrect. Repeating the question from Montrose. Which state contains the Cape Cod National Seashore and its cranberry bogs? Audience, any takers? Massachusetts. All right, 10 points for the audience today. Spencer Van Etten and Montrose still tied at 30 each. Question 15. The Hindi language film industry based in what was, I'm going to start from the beginning. This is what we call when we're recording a commercial. Take two. The Hindi language film industry based in what? Okay, well, we'll take three. Yeah, I got it. I'm good. Nurse? Okay. The Hindi language film industry based in what was once Bombay, India is called Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Bollywood.
You just like seeing me struggle. Good job. The election winner in this year wasn't even on the ballot in 10 southern states. Name this year when the presidential election, held just more than 5 months before the start of the Civil War, saw Stephen Douglas finish fourth behind Abraham Lincoln and two other men. Haley Zapolsky, Montrose.
1860.
Very good. Score is still tied, 40-40, and now my blood pressure's starting to go up. Tioga's and Tawanda flashbacks all over again from last year. 11 tiebreaker questions between those two exceptionally smart teams. Question 17 between Montrose and Spencer Van Etten. Based on a fairy tale, the title character of what most recent Andrew Lloyd Webber show gets cosmetic surgery to attend the ball and ends up with Prince Sebastian, younger brother of the gay Prince Charming. A lot to unpack there. Cinderella, the answer we were looking for. Question 18. After leading the German defense against D-Day, he was forced to commit suicide for alleged involvement in a Hitler assassination plot. Name this World War II general whose command of the Deutsche Afrika Korps earned him the nickname the Desert Fox. Erwin Rommel. Question 19 between Montrose and SVE. After this man's reign over the kingdom of Alba between 1040 and 1057 AD, his stepson, Lulach, ruled for 6 months before dying. Killed by Malcolm III, the son of Duncan I, what real-life king is most famous today for the Scottish Shakespeare play about him? Haley Zapolsky ringing in for Montrose.
Macbeth.
Macbeth is correct. Great job. Montrose takes the lead 50-40. Here's one question left for you before we go back to break. The medieval Arab mathematician al-Battani created a table of values of this quantity from 1 degree to 90 degrees. Identify this trig ratio that in a right triangle equals hypotenuse divided by side opposite, and is thus the reciprocal of sine. Haley Zapolsky was the first to ring in from Montrose.
Secant? No.
Can you give a more complete answer?
Opposite of sine. Cosecant.
Judges? I'm going to accept that. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we have a challenge on that. The Spencer Van Etten Panthers are requesting a challenge on that as, go ahead and turn on his microphone, please, so we can hear him.
Because secant is the reciprocal of cosine, it's not related, it's completely different. So that was like a complete answer the first time.
Okay, so we're going to confer with the judges. We're going to go to a break. We're scheduled to go to break anyway. So what I'm going to do, Bryce, is we're going to assess the challenge during the break. When we come back, we'll try to give you a ruling here on the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge, presented by Williams Toyota. Welcome back to the stage here of the Sayre Theater, or the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge. My name is Dave Radigan. I am your host for the day today, along with Irene Radigan. Before the break, we asked a question, and we made an error here at the host's podium. So what we have decided to do in cooperation with the advisors of both Montrose Meteors and Spencer Van Etten Panther advisors, Andy McGee, Eric Powers, and John Kolowski, we are going to throw out the last question, and we're going to do a replacement question between these two teams. So we do need to adjust our score. The score is correct. That's already been done, so we're good to go there. So what we're going to do is we have extra questions. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the tiebreaker question, and although we're going into round 3 where questions are worth 20 points apiece, this is technically going to be the last question of round 2. So this question is a 10-pointer. For Montrose Meteors and Spencer Van Ettens, originally named Araminta, she was a spy for the Union Army in South Carolina. Nicknamed Moses by abolitionist newspaperman William Lloyd Garrison, what black woman born into slavery in Maryland rescued slaves? Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Tubman.
Harriet Tubman is the correct answer. So that's 10 points for Spencer Van Etten. They now tie with Montrose, 50 points all, as we enter into round 3 between these two teams. Now, the questions are all worth 20 points apiece if you get them correct. If you get anything incorrect, it is a 10-point penalty. So we're at the beginning of the 3rd round. Question number 21 for our judges. It's on page 39 of today's book. The more of this compound you use, the longer mosquitoes find it hard to smell the lactic acid and carbon dioxide your body gives off. Give the 4-letter acronym for this substance found in many insect repellents whose chemical name is N-diethyl metatoluamide. That's N-diethyl metatoluamide. DEET is the answer we're looking for there. Question 22 between Montrose and Spencer Van Etten. In 2022, this state's governor, Kevin Stitt, signed the Save Women's Sports Act that prevents boys from competing in girls' sports. Identify this Great Plains state that is home to the 2022 college national champions in women's gymnastics and women's softball. Just before the buzzer, Dagan Giannoni from Montrose.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is correct. Great job. Montrose in the lead now, 70-50 over SVE. In this essay compilation, The Fire Next Time, this author says, black has become a beautiful color, not because it is loved, but because it is feared. Name this black American writer of the 1950s whose novel about John Grimes and his ancestors is called Go Tell It on the Mountain. Time is up, and James Baldwin's the answer we were looking for. Question number 24. Spell truculent, an adjective for someone with an attitude about something. Nobody rang in. Truculent. Truculent. Question number 25 between Montrose Meteors and Spencer Van Etten. Montrose in the lead, 70-50. Tie a small rock to a string, and then start whirling the string around until the rock achieves uniform circular motion, moving at constant velocity. What relationship exists between the velocity vector of the rock and its acceleration? Haley Zapolsky, Montrose Meteors.
It's tangential.
That is incorrect. We will repeat the question for Spencer Van Etten. Tie a small rock to a string and then start whirling the string around until the rock achieves uniform circular motion, moving at constant velocity. What relationship exists between the velocity vector of the rock and its acceleration? Time is up. Perpendicular is what we were looking for, or right angle or 90 degrees to the acceleration. Question number 26. Which U.S. colony got its own governor in 1738 after a long period where the same governor had been in charge of both New York and that colony? New Jersey. Question 27. What Frenchman who considered himself a realist, not an impressionist, sculpted a Danish dance and dancers in green and yellow? Edgar Degas. Question 28. This city, famed for its natural harbor, shares its name, the last name of a British explorer. I'm going to start again, I apologize. This city, famed for its natural harbor, shares its name, the last name of a British explorer, with a city in Washington state. Name this city that, partly because it was the western endpoint of the Canadian Pacific Railway, is now the largest city in British Columbia. No takers on that question. Vancouver, the answer we were looking for. Question 29, Montrose in the lead over Spencer Van Etten. The score is 60-50. These are 20-point questions. 2 left. This nation's current author, Christian Alarcon, was raised in Argentina after his family went there to get away from its dictator, Augusto Pinochet. Name this South American country whose 2 Nobel laureates in literature are both poets, Gabriel Mistral and Pablo Neruda. Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Mexico.
Mexico is incorrect. Repeating for Montrose Meteors, this nation's current author, Christian Alarcon, was raised in Argentina after his family went there to get away from its dictator, Augusto Pinochet. Name this South American country whose 2 Nobel laureates in literature are both poets, Gabriela Mistral and Pablo Neruda. Montrose did not ring in, therefore they don't lose any points for a possible wrong answer, as they're in the lead 60-40. Chile is the answer we were looking for. It's a 20-point difference between Montrose and Spencer Van Etten, with Montrose in the lead and 1 20-point question left. The monogenic type of this relationship actually requires 2 different hosts. Identify this biological relationship where one member benefits to the detriment of the host. Bryce Grant, Spencer Van Etten.
Symbiotic.
That is incorrect. So a 10-point deduction for Spencer Van Etten. Montrose 60-30 now. We'll repeat the question for Montrose. The monogenic type of this relationship, Dagan Giannone, Montrose Meteors.
Parasitism.
Parasitism is correct. That's an extra 20 points for Montrose, which brings them to 80 points over Spencer Van Etten's 30 points. And that is the end of the match between Montrose and Spencer Van Etten. Spencer Van Etten, Bryce Grant, Cameron Smith, Cole Rodriguez, J6 Stahl, thank you for being on Scholarship Challenge today. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
Lots of fun.
Big start to the day today. You took off against Athens' silver team and defeated them, and found yourself sitting up against Montrose. And, well, now that's that. Man, sorry, I'm not much of a sports play-by-play guy. This is as close as I get. But, man, you guys have worked real hard, and you did a very good job here today on Scholarship Challenge.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys participating today. You did a wonderful job. All right, when we come back, what will happen next is we will clear the stage. Montrose will have a seat in the theater. We'll welcome up for the first time today since practice rounds before the broadcast, Sayre's Red Team and Notre Dame to compete against one another here on the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. Take a break, guys, but don't go too far, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Montrose. Welcome back to the stage here at the Sayre Theater. We're live this Saturday morning in a live broadcast across 17 radio stations in the Twin Tiers of New York. Heard from Owego and Binghamton to Waverly, Sayre, Athens, over to Elmira, Corning, and down to Towanda. Appreciate you tuning in today to what is the coolest thing we think we do all year long here at Radigan Media. And this is Scholarship Challenge. We've got two new teams on the stage for you here today. The winner between this match of Sayre's Red Team and Notre Dame will take on Montrose, who just won a few moments ago against Spencer Van Etten. Been a big day, been a busy day, morning already here at the Sayre Theater. Of course, our theater is open this morning. There's no cost to get in for admission for Scholarship Challenge. So if you're in the neighborhood and you'd like to come join us, we'd be happy to have you here in the Sayre Theater. Of course, you can live stream us as well on the Choice 102 Facebook page. Choice 102 is the flagship station of Scholarship Challenge. We're also on YouTube for your smart TVs and, of course, on your radio right now, and we appreciate that very, very much. First off, I would like to introduce from Notre Dame, the Crusaders, team captain Isabella Hazelton.
Hi, Dave. I'm a senior. I'm in my school. I'm involved in National Honor Society. I'm the secretary of National Honor Society class council. I'm also the captain of the Science Olympiad team and the Quiz League team. I'm also a co-founder of our school's environmental club, and I also play tennis. And I live on a small dairy farm in Mansfield, so I'm very involved in my community in 4-H and dairy promotions. And then I also help at my church with altar serving. In the future, I plan to go to a 4-year college and study either biochemistry or biomedical engineering while following the pre-medicine track.
Very good. A busy young lady, Isabella Hazelton from Notre Dame. To her left, Sophia McMaster.
Hello, thank you. I am a junior at Notre Dame High School, and I play viola in the Cayuga Chamber Youth Orchestra. I have a part-time position at the Art Museum. I also report the weekend weather for our school's broadcasting station, Crusader Commentary.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's Sophia McMaster from Notre Dame. Stephen Dordana to her left.
Hi, Dave. I'm a senior at Notre Dame. I'm involved in our NHS as the vice president. I'm also a member of National Chinese Honor Society within our school. I'm a co-captain of our Quiz League team with Isabella. In my free time, I play varsity lacrosse for our school, as well as working part-time at the Rail House down in Waverly.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephen. And to our far stage left from the Notre Dame Crusaders is Kurt Golden.
Thanks, Mr. Radigan. I'm a senior, and I am the National Honor Society president, one of the founders of the Climate Crusaders Club, our environmental club. I participate in Quiz League and Science Olympiad, and also have a part-time job at the Rail House in Waverly. I plan to major in material science and engineering.
Very good. How about that rail house? Thank you, Kurt Golden from the Notre Dame Crusaders. Notre Dame Crusaders are advised by Tom Milliken. Head of school is Patricia Mack, and President Emerita is Sister Mary Walter Hickey. A round of applause, please, for Notre Dame High School. To my right, stage right here at the Sayre Theater, from all the way here of the borough of Sayre. We welcome in the Redskins red team today, beginning with team captain Emmett Wilmot.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I am a junior at Sayre High School. I participated in Quiz League and the drama department. I was most recently cast as Prince Eric in our upcoming production of The Little Mermaid. I plan to go to college for computer science after completing my senior year.
Excellent. Thank you, Emmett Wilmot from Sayre Redskins. Brooke Romig is next up.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. I am a sophomore at Sayre High School, and I'm vice president of my class. I participate in speech and debate and the school musical, and this year I was cast as Ursula in our musical, and I'll be heading to districts at the end of March for speech and debate.
Very good. Thank you, Brooke Romig. And to our right, all the way stage right, the third teammate for Sayre Redskins' team of three today is Deborah Shikanga. Welcome back to Scholarship Challenge.
Thank you. I'm a senior in Sayre High, and I take part in FTA, FBLA, Student Council, and SAD. And I also run track and cross country.
Excellent. Thank you, Deborah. The Sayre Redskins Scholarship Challenge team is advised by Aaron Roy. Principal is Cambria Ely, and Superintendent Dr. Jill Delosio of the Sayre School District. A round of applause for the Sayre Redskins Red Team. This is the second appearance this year from Sayre. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, school districts are welcome to submit numerous teams if they so choose, if they're able to field them. This is the second team from Sayre. Sayre, Waverly, and Athens have all submitted 2 teams to Scholarship Challenge this year. All of our other school districts involved, of which there are 20, maybe 22 school districts. No, it's 22 teams and 19 school districts. Don't trust me with math. That's up to these kids right here. They're better at it than I am. I have all the answers in my book, so I'm cheating, I guess, is the answer there. But it's Scholarship Challenge. It is the FCCB Scholarship Challenge. It's presented by Williams Toyota, and we want to thank those 2 sponsors for making this competition happen here for the 43rd year on your radio. Lots going through our heads this morning, lots to keep track of, and lots of students participating. It's wonderful to have so many people here in the theater and up on stage with us today. I'm sure these guys are itching to get to some questions, so let's do that. 30 questions ahead between Sayre and Notre Dame. These first few are 10-point questions, so let's begin. Name the rock group whose hits on the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 2022 included Heat Waves. Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame.
Glass Animals.
Glass Animals is correct. Pencils and paper ready. As an integer, give the 4th root of the product of 16 to the 6th power and 16 squared. Time's up to ring in on that. 256, the number we were looking for. Question number 3 between Sayre Redskins and Notre Dame Crusaders. Famed for saying, "Grant me chastity, but not yet." What saint who served as a bishop in Hippo in North Africa wrote more than 50 works, including Confessions and The City of God? Kurt Golden just before the buzzer from Notre Dame.
St. Augustine.
That is correct. Great job. Notre Dame is in the lead with 20 points. Sayre at 0. Question number 4. Identify the watery Justice League comic book superhero whose real name on Hershey candy wrappers in 2022 is Arthur Curry. Emmett Wilmot from Sayre.
Aquaman.
Aquaman is correct. Good job. Sayre's on the board now with 10 points. Question number 5. Which John Greenleaf Whittier poem tells us of a New England family stuck in their house for a week after a blizzard? Snowbound is the answer we were looking for. Question number 6. One result of this project's success was the discovery of the Van Allen belts around Earth. Name this first Soviet artificial satellite succeeded Stephen Dortana, Notre Dame.
Sputnik.
Sputnik is correct. Question number 7. What German composer's wedding march from his Music for a Midsummer Night's Dream is still played at weddings? No takers on that one. Felix Mendelssohn. Question 8. Which National Hockey League's team's logo is a bison on top of 2 crossed swords? That would be the Buffalo Sabres. Question number 9. After a white dwarf star has lost all of its heat and light through radiation, it is called by what color? Sophia McMaster before the timer. Notre Dame Crusaders.
Red.
That is incorrect. We will now take 10 points off of Notre Dame, puts the score at 20-10, Notre Dame in the lead over Sayre, and we will repeat the question for Sayre. After a white dwarf star has lost all of its heat and light through radiation, it is called by what color? Five seconds to ring in, and nobody did. The answer, black dwarf. Question number 10, between Sayre and Notre Dame, the main divisions on this company's website include hand soaps and sanitizers, candles, and home fragrance. Name this high-end retail chain once called the McDonald's of toiletries, whose stock symbol is BBWI. Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame.
Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works is correct. That's the end of the first 10 questions between Notre Dame and Sayre. Notre Dame is in the lead, 30-10. When we come back, 10 more questions between these two, and we'll learn about Notre Dame with their school biography from Isabella Hazelton here in just a minute and a half on the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. That's Illegal ID in Radioland. Thank you for being with us on 17 signals across the Twin Tiers from 96.7 in Corning, 106.5, 93.9, 99.5 in Elmira. Oh, geez, I shouldn't have started naming them all. There's a whole bunch, and I can't think of them all right now. There's too many. But thank you for finding this one and listening to it today. This is Scholarship Challenge. It's an event that happens this time of year, I would say once a year. It takes 6 weeks to do it. It's every Saturday at 10 a.m. This is our second week, so if you're enjoying what you're hearing, keep checking back with us every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. The show runs about, last weekend it ran about 2.5 hours to get through all of our teams, and each week looks like it'll be about the same, but it's a lot of fun to do, and it is done live here on a theater stage at the Sayre Theater in front of a live audience here, so that's cool, and being on the radio is cool, and streaming it out on the internet is fun to watch as well. So we thank you for being a part of the broadcast today. We want to take a moment to check in with Isabella Hazelton, who is the captain of the Notre Dame Crusaders. She's going to tell us about Notre Dame.
Notre Dame High School is a Catholic college prep school, grades 7 through 12, sponsored by the Sisters of Mercy. We are located in the rolling hills of the southern tier of New York, surrounded by the natural beauty of rivers, waterfalls, and gorges. Our school offers basic foundation courses that build to options for multiple AP and ACE classes, as well as electives that permit our students to explore the arts, sciences, humanities, and social justice. After school, 87% of our students participate in 3 seasons of athletics, with many teams having been sectional or state champions. Besides athletics, our students participate in FIR-ST robotics, drama that includes a musical and a play, Science Olympiad, our yearbook, The Credo, our digital school newspaper, The Maryleaf, and other activities driven by student interest, most notably our personal favorite, Quiz League/Scholarship Challenge. This year, we have dedicated our school to learning about, designing, and implementing ways to care for our earth, which is one of the critical concerns of the Sisters of Mercy. We thank Dave Radigan, Sherry Iyer, Irene Radigan, the entire WATS/WAVR staff, and all the Scholarship Challenge sponsors for making this contest possible and inviting us to participate.
Thank you very much, Isabella Hazelton from Notre Dame. Quiz League's our favorite as well. All right, with that bio from Notre Dame, we will continue with 10 more questions here on Scholarship Challenge, and then coming up at the beginning of the next session, we'll check in with Sayre's bio. Let's begin round 2. These are still 10 points each. What city will host games of the 2026 World Cup soccer tournament at its Lincoln Financial Field? Kurt Golden before the buzzer from Notre Dame.
Philadelphia.
That's correct. Good job. Which colony was represented when signing the Declaration of Independence by Samuel Adams and Elbridge Gerry? Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is correct. It's 10 more points for Notre Dame. They're in the lead 50-10 over Sayre. Webster's defines what 6-letter compound word as an environment promoting the growth of something, especially something unwelcome, like revolution or contention? Hotbed. Question 14. The Trail of Tears National Historic Trail ends in what Plains state that contains the Cherokee Heritage Museum? Oklahoma is an answer for a question for the second time today on Scholarship Challenge. Question 15. National Geographic defines this theory as individuals of a species are more likely to pass on their genes. Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame.
Natural selection.
Natural selection is correct. Good job. One of this state's nicknames is attributed to England's King Charles II, who called it his loyal Old Dominion in 1660. Identify this southern state whose quarter features the 3 ships that in 1607 brought the first British settlers to what became its Jamestown settlement. Emmett Wilmot, Sayre Redskins.
Virginia.
Virginia is correct. Good job. Score is 60-20 with Notre Dame in the lead over Sayre. Question number 17. Admiral, sky, sapphire, and teal are all shades of what color? Emmett Wilmot, Sayre.
Blue.
Blue is correct. After writing a book arguing that the grave of Agamemnon was in a different place than generally thought, he found the grave where he thought it was. Name this German who smuggled treasures out of Greece in the late 1800s after he unearthed the ancient city of Troy. No takers on that. Henrik Schliemann is the answer we're looking for there. Question number 19. The old narrator of this poem learns to respect all of God's creatures, but only after he tells his sad story to a passing hermit. Give the long title of this Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem, whose narrator has to repent of killing an albatross by wearing it around his neck for a time. Long question, long answer. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Wanted to ring in on that one, huh? Both teams knew that one. That's funny. All right, question 20. This is the last 10-point question between Sayre and Notre Dame. Might as well make it a good one. Pencils and paper ready. A right triangle has a hypotenuse of length 16 feet and a 60-degree angle between the base and the hypotenuse. In square root form, what is the triangle's height? I would pass on that one too. 8 square root of 3, 3 feet. 16 sine 60 degrees would have been an acceptable answer as well. All right, that's the end of match 2, round 2. Round 3 is next with 10 more questions. We'll escalate the point values to 20 points apiece. The score is 60-30. Notre Dame in the lead over Sayre. When we come back, we'll learn more about the Sayre School District from Emmett Wilmot of the Sayre Redskins here on the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. Thank you for joining us here live at the Sayre Theater. Happy to be with you once again. My name is Dave Radigan, alongside Irene Radigan, my wife. We are the co-owners of Radigan Media and the radio stations you're hearing today's broadcast on. Appreciate you tuning in for something a little bit out of the ordinary. Okay, completely out of the ordinary. When was the last time you heard a quiz show on your radio? Last year. It was this one. We will check in with the Sayre School District to learn about the Sayre Redskins from team captain and our biography reader of the day, Emmett Wilmot.
Thank you, Mr. Radigan. Sayre Area High School, located in the Susquehanna Valley, is a school of about 500 students enrolled in grades 7 through 12, commonly known as the Little School with a Big Heart. Since its beginning in the era of the Lehigh Valley Railroad to a transition to a community, Sayre Area High School has traditionally been an important institution. This is demonstrated annually by its giving to community organizations in the valley, such as the Salvation Army's canned food drives, which receive Sayre High's donations of thousands of items annually. Sayre students are involved in a variety of activities, including athletics, music, art, and drama. The boys' basketball team just recently won the NTL Small School Division. Sayre's drama department is currently working to put on The Little Mermaid, which will be performed on March 31st and April 1st. National Honor Society has just accepted a new group of students into the chapter, and 13 students will be attending FBLA States in Hershey, April 10th through 13th. The school district has played a key role in readying the youth of Sayre area with the skills, values, and knowledge needed to be responsible citizens of today's world. Our students, faculty, and staff always have and will continue to do their best at everything to make us Redskin proud.
Very good. Thank you, Emmett Wilmot, Sayre Redskins. One other item of note to you here in the borough of Sayre at the Sayre Theater, and in case you were wondering, there's above my head a sign that says WBFR, and that's not one of the 17 radio stations you're hearing this broadcast on today. That's actually a fictitious radio station from the Gatsby radio play that's going to be happening on this stage later this evening here at the Sayre Theater with a matinee tomorrow as well. It's put on by the Bradford County Regional Arts Council, where I am a board member. I'm proud of the many programs that are put on by the Arts Council, and if you're looking for something cool to come out and see at the Sayre Theater, that would be one of them. Tonight or tomorrow for a matinee here at the Sayre Theater. And we want to thank Elaine Poost and her crew for allowing us to take over the Sayre Theater for 6 Saturdays each winter. This is our 3rd year having Scholarship Challenge at the Sayre Theater. We do love it here, and we do love questions, lots of them. I've got 10 more questions, the last 10 of 30 between Sayre Redskins and Notre Dame Crusaders. That means we're up to 20-point questions. 20 points if you get it right, 10 points penalty if you get it wrong. Notre Dame in the lead over Sayre, 60-30. Let's get on the show here with our next set of questions. Pencils and paper ready. Give the molecular mass of vitamin C, which has the chemical formula C6H8O6. Total gobbledygook to me, that's 176 grams per molecule, I'm going to guess, G over ml, 72 plus 8 plus 96. Anybody get that? Good job. Anybody out there get that? Yeah, me neither. Okay. Question 22. It's a 20-pointer. Set in California in 1865, this story tells how the gambler Jim Smiley was cheated by a stranger using 2 handfuls of lead shot. Give the full name of this Mark Twain short story. Brooke Romig, Sayre Redskins.
The Jumping Frog of Calaveras County.
All right. What's that? Can I say that? All right. So the judges are saying that your answer needs to be more complete, Brooke.
The celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County?
Yes, the answer just as long as the question itself. Almost. You're correct. That brings the score to 60-50. Notre Dame over Sayre at the moment. Good job. All right, question 23. Physicists in 2022 discovered 3 new hadrons made from combinations of this particle. Identify this particle that creates protons and neutrons when in groups of 2 Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
Quark.
Quarks. Correct. That is correct. Good job. Question 24. In German, the prepositions for except, with, after, and since all require use of this grammatical case for the noun they precede. Identify this case, usually learned after the accusative case, that is still used in many European languages to denote an indirect object. The dative case. Question 25. Give the three-word term for the ratio of the speed of light in a given medium to the speed of light in a vacuum. Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame.
Index of refraction.
Index of refraction is correct. You guys don't even want to know what kind of grades I got in school. This battle pitted American General Horatio Gates against British General John Burgoyne. Identify this 1777 Revolutionary War battle in upstate New York. Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
Saratoga Springs.
Judges will accept that answer. The Battle of Saratoga. Saratoga was the key word we were looking for there. Question 27. British actor Rex Harrison is probably best known today for what role in the musical and film? My Fair Lady. Professor Henry Higgins. All right, the score right now, Notre Dame in the lead, 120 to Sayre 50. This is question number 28. This city on an island contains many descendants of the Maronite dynasty that speak a dialect of Malagasy and that ruled its African country before the French took over the country in 1895. Name this capital city of Madagascar. Nobody rang in, probably because the phonetic spelling of it has 5 hyphens. Say it with me now. Antananarivo. Everybody get that one right? I know, you guys just didn't want to show off. I get it. That's cool. All right, question number 29. Give the first name shared by these Russians in literature. The writer, Mr. Bunin, the atheist brother Karamazov, the characters Mr. Shukov and Mr. Illich, and the writer Mr. Turgenev. Nobody rang in for that. What is the worst question of scholarship challenge yet this season? Ivan is the answer we were looking for there. Oh, Lord. Question number 30. Name the detective who often annoys the Scotland Yard Inspector Gregson and who was resurrected after being killed at Reichenbach Falls by his arch-rival Moriarty. Stephen Dortana, Notre Dame.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. Congratulations, Notre Dame Crusaders, 140 to 50 over Sayre on this match between the two teams. Emmett Wilmot, Brooke Romig, Deborah Shikanga, thank you all three for being here. Did you have fun on Scholarship Challenge today?
Oh, absolutely. It was great.
Always great having you guys here. But thank you for joining us today. All right, so what happens next on Scholarship Challenge? Well, Notre Dame advances now to a match between Notre Dame and Montrose right here on stage when we come back to the 43rd Annual Scholarship Challenge from FCCB and Williams Toyota. Well, you know, it's getting serious when I switch to a sharpened pencil here up at the podium. And we are, well, advancing now to the next round. We started the day out today at 10 a.m. on the Sayre Theater stage with Montrose, Athens Silver Team, Spencer Van Etten, Sayre Red Team, and Notre Dame. Between Athens and Spencer Van Etten advanced to play Montrose. Between Sayre and Notre Dame advanced now to play Montrose. So it's Notre Dame on stage with Montrose for the scholarship challenge here. And the winner between these two teams over the next 30 questions will find themselves earning a seat back here on stage for Scholarship Challenge Finals on Saturday, March 11th. Grace Christian Academy has already done that. We've got 2 more Saturdays of qualifiers ahead, and then on the 3rd Saturday we'll take a break from High School Scholarship Challenge and switch over to Middle School Challenge for just a day, and then come back to do Finals. Want to say thanks again to our judges here today, Jackie Bowen, Anthony Almond, and David DeKay. David is the branch manager of Sayre FCCB. We thank him for being here, for sponsoring, and as well as Jackie and Anthony for having not only my back, but more so even the students' backs here up on stage to make sure that I'm delivering the question correctly and that we're getting the correct answer and following Chuck Carver's rules of the game here at Scholarship Challenge, a game 43 years in the making. Just the 3rd year for my wife and I hosting the challenge here up on stage. So it's lots of fun, but it's lots of work as well, and there's a lot of things to keep track of when you're doing Scholarship Challenge. So for everyone who's involved, we really, really, really do appreciate their participation. Let's get into it now. We've already met Montrose and Notre Dame. Montrose, Stephanie Somerville, Dagan Giannoni, Haley Zapolsky, Miranda Walter, the Montrose Meteors, Notre Dame Crusaders, Isabella Hazelton, Sophia McMaster, Stephen Dortana, and Kurt Golden on stage with me and my wife Irene as we continue here now with Scholarship Challenge. 30 questions. This is the first one. In French, Spanish, and Portuguese, the word for this food is ananas. Name?
Pineapple.
Sophia McMaster,
Sorry.
Notre Dame Crusaders. Pineapple is the correct answer. Great job. Are you a pineapple aficionado? No. There you go. You're a French aficionado. Great. Okay, pencils and paper ready. Give the value of x that makes the expression 4x plus 7 divided by 9x minus 27 undefined. Stephen Dortana, Notre Dame Crusaders.
3.
3 is the correct answer. Great job. A math aficionado as well. Which Dutchman who discovered New Zealand has an Australian island province named for him? Time is up. Abel Tasman. Tasmanian island there. All right, question number 4. Give both the word that should be changed in the following sentence to make it grammatically correct and what it should be changed to. Grandma gave Melissa and I both $5 each to go get ice cream. Miranda Walter, Montrose.
I changed to me.
That is absolutely correct. Great job, Miranda. Which state's Patrick Space Force base is between its towns of Cocoa Beach and Satellite Beach? Dajan Giannoni.
Florida.
Montrose Meteors.
Florida.
Florida is correct. Just once today, and I apologize, I reset her microphone already. Just once today, could you say your name the correct way so that everybody hears it the way it's supposed to be? Dagan Giannoni. That's how far off I am. I apologize, Dagan. I'm overpronouncing your name. Question number 6 on Scholarship Challenge. What classic TV sitcom featured the characters Archie Bunker, his wife Edith, and a son-in-law, Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame?
Never mind. I was going to say Riverdale, but...
Okay, we're going to, that is incorrect, so we're going to cancel that. It's 10-point penalty for Notre Dame. We'll ask the question again for the Montrose Meteors. What classic TV sitcom featured the characters Archie Bunker, his wife Edith, and a son-in-law he called Meathead? No takers in Montrose. Audience, the correct answer is All in the Family. 10 more points for the audience. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, question number 7 between Montrose and Notre Dame. 20-10 is the score with Montrose in the lead. Several paintings by Mexican artist Frida Kahlo feature what fellow Mexican artist who was her husband? Dagan Giannone, Montrose.
Diego Rivera.
That is correct. Jim Boeheim is the longtime men's basketball coach at what? Dagan Giannone, Montrose.
Syracuse.
Syracuse University is correct.
I love how she's bringing in for you to pronounce her name.
Oh, she's giving me practice here today. All right, question number 9. The amount of this substance is decreasing near the North Pole, but increasing near the South Pole. Give this two-word term for frozen ocean water. Miranda Walter, Montrose.
Iceberg.
Incorrect. We'll repeat the question for Notre Dame. The amount of this substance is decreasing near the North Pole, but increasing near the South Pole. Give this two-word term for frozen ocean water. Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
Sheet ice.
That is also incorrect. Answer we're looking for, sea ice. S-E-A ice, sea ice. Question number 10. What number 1 firm for online retail calls itself, quote, the global marketplace for unique? Dagan Giannone, Montrose.
Amazon.
That is incorrect. We'll repeat the question for Notre Dame. What number 1 firm for online retail calls itself the global marketplace for unique and creative goods, selling craft supplies, jewelry, and collectibles, among other things? Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame.
Etsy.
Etsy is correct. Bouncing back and forth on the score here. It's a good competitive match happening between Montrose Meteors and Notre Dame Crusaders. Montrose currently in the lead, 20-10. When we come back, it's match 4, round 2. 10 more 10-point questions between these two teams on the 43rd Annual FCCB Scholarship Challenge presented by Williams Toyota. Thanks for being here today for a Scholarship Challenge. We are at the Sayre Theater, on stage, under the lights, in front of the lights. I haven't been able to see anything straight for about 2 hours, other than this book right in front of me on this binder, on this podium, this binder on this podium. You get the idea. All right, shut up and ask some more questions, I think is what we're getting at here. It's match 4, round 2. Montrose Meteors on stage with Notre Dame Crusaders. Montrose in the lead, 20-10. We've seen the score go up, we've seen the score go down, and we've seen it meet back up here in the middle. It's pretty close. These are 10-point questions. I've got 10 of them ready to go. A spikelet on a rice plant is similar to what structure on other food plants that grows before the food begins to grow? Stephen Tortana, Notre Dame.
Roots.
That is incorrect. We'll repeat the question for Montrose. A spikelet on a rice plant is similar to what structure on other food plants that grows before the food begins to grow? Time is up. Flower, the answer we're looking for. Question 12. Which constitutional amendment gives suspected criminals the right to a speedy and public trial? Haley Zapolsky, Montrose.
The 6th Amendment?
The 6th Amendment is correct. Good job. This state's flag shows the year 1859 when it joined the Union and shows a covered wagon for the settlers who got there on its namesake trail. Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
Oregon.
Correct. It tells the story of Georgius, a Lithuanian immigrant working in Isabella Hazelton, Notre Dame.
The Jungle.
The Jungle is correct. 30-20 is the score. Montrose in the lead over Notre Dame. What 8-letter grammatical term is defined as a sentence made of anything else? I'm going to start that over. What 8-letter grammatical term is defined as a sentence made of anything less than an independent clause? Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
Fragment.
Fragment is correct. Score is tied at 30 all. In 2020, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement took effect, replacing what previous trade agreement between the 3 countries? Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement.
That is correct. Great job. 40-30, Notre Dame in the lead now. What Gilbert and Sullivan operetta about a group of orphans includes the songs Dagan Giannone, Montrose?
Annie?
That is incorrect. We'll repeat the question for Notre Dame. Which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta about a group of orphans? That was the timer. You can ignore that. I'll start it from the beginning. Which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta about a group of orphans includes the songs When Frederick Was a Little Lad and I Am the Very Model of a Modern...
Pirates of... Oh, do you want to introduce me first?
Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
I'm so sorry. Pirates of Penzance.
That is absolutely correct. Great job. She knew that one so well, she was ready to jump out of her chair. Love it. Love it. Question number 18 between Montrose and Notre Dame. Notre Dame in the lead 50-30. Sudan's first civil war ended in 1972 with a peace deal signed in what capital city of Ethiopia? Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
Addis Ababa.
That is correct. Yep. All right, question number 19. Said to have been written because Queen Elizabeth I wanted to see its most famous character in love, this play tells Mistress Ford and Page hide that character in a basket of dirty laundry. Name this Shakespeare play that features a fat knight named Sir John Falstaff. Time is up. The Merry Wives of Windsor. Knew that one, huh? Sometimes you know the answer, but you're not real confident on it, and you don't want to take the chance because you might lose your team some points. And that's also smart strategy here on Scholarship Challenge. Question number 19. Said to have been written because Queen Elizabeth I did that one. Okay. Just kidding. You knew the answer that time, didn't you? All right, question number 20. Pens and paper ready. Give the product of the complex numbers 1 plus 4i and 5 minus 2i. You get 5 seconds to ring in. Nobody did. The answer is 13 plus 18i. That is the end of round 2. Round 3 is next. Questions will be worth 20 points apiece. Right now, Notre Dame is in the lead, 60 to Montrose 30. 10 questions worth 20 points apiece. Anything can still happen here on Scholarship Challenge when we come back to the Sayre Theater. Welcome back to the Scholarship Challenge. We're live at the Sayre Theater. We've got Montrose Meteors and Notre Dame Crusaders up on stage. During the break, we had a correction from the judges on the score. It shows, and I announced it as 60 to 30, Notre Dame in the lead. The correction is Montrose is actually 20, and I apologize to Montrose. That generally has to do with me hitting the correct button when I shouldn't have hit the correct button on something. So, not sure where we ran afoul with that, but it's corrected now on stage. Current score 60 to 20. Notre Dame in the lead over Montrose, and we're rolling into round 3, which I believe are our last 10 questions of the day here on Scholarship Challenge. Here we go. Question number 21. All elements after this element in the periodic table are termed trans blank.
Uranium.
Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame. That is incorrect.
Oh.
We'll repeat the question for Montrose Meteors. All elements after this element in the periodic table are termed trans blank. Dagan Giannone, Montrose.
Magnesium.
That is also incorrect. The question is, and this is for the audience now, you don't have to answer it. We won't throw anybody out, I promise. All elements after this element in the periodic table are termed trans blank elements because their atomic numbers are greater than its atomic number 100. Identify this element named for the Italian Nobel laureate who created the world's first nuclear reactor in Chicago. The answer we were looking for is fermium. Question number 22. Name the woman who ran for Congress from her native Alaska in 2022 after running as John McCain's 2008. Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin is correct. Question number 23. Which type of human blood is considered the universal donor? Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
O negative.
That is incorrect. We'll repeat the question for Montrose. Or not even bother. Dagan Giannone, Montrose.
O positive.
Also incorrect. I'll repeat the question for the fun of it for our audience. Which type of human blood is considered the universal donor? Because people with all other types can receive it safely. The answer we're looking for is type O.
I want to challenge that question.
All right. Judges, we have a challenge on that question.
It's O negative.
I believe you said O negative,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe you said O positive. Is there a doctor in the house?
Yes, there is actually, back right corner.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to call that a bad question, or rather a bad answer on my page here. So we agree, judges, that the correct answer is O negative, which is the answer that Notre Dame gave originally, which means that I'm going to add 20 points to Notre Dame. Score is now 80-0. And then we give 10 points back to Montrose. Everybody in agreement on that? You guys, they got it. So, oh, good Lord. Now you guys are really getting me. Oh, Lord. Okay. 90-10, Notre Dame in the lead over Montrose. Everybody agree? All right. Scholarship challenge is, it's tough.
Dr. McElhaney is here.
Dr. McElhaney, welcome to the house. Check my blood pressure later, okay? Very good. Okay. We are at question number 24. We're in the third round between Montrose Meteors, Notre Dame Crusaders. It's a team effort here, hosting scholarship challenge between both teams, the advisors, the judges. It's a collaborative effort, making sure that we keep everything on track here. American author Willa Cather was born in Virginia, but moved to the Midwest state as a child. Nope, you're right. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to reread the question here. This is why Irene's on stage next to me, make sure I don't miss any words in the question. American author Willa Cather was born in Virginia, but moved to what Midwest state as a child and set her novel, O Pioneers, there? Dagan Giannone, Montrose.
Kansas.
Wrong. I'll repeat the question now for Notre Dame. American author Willa Cather was born in Virginia, but moved to what Midwest state as a child and set her novel, O Pioneers, there? Notre Dame's taking a pass on answering that question. Nebraska is the answer we were looking for. Question number 25. For linear motion, Newton's second law is typically written as F equals ma. But when the motion is rotational, mass becomes what quantity, abbreviated with a capital I? Stephen Dortana, Notre Dame.
Inertia.
Conferring with the judges. We're going to accept that answer. Moment of inertia. Okay, that's 20 points for Notre Dame. Scoreboard currently reads 110 Notre Dame, Montrose at 0. Question number 26. Hancock, Monocacy, and Antietam were all Civil War battles in what? Dagan Giannone, Montrose Meteors.
Maryland.
That is correct. In what state that borders Pennsylvania? There we go. All right, question number 27 between Montrose Meteors and Notre Dame Crusaders. Notre Dame Crusaders in the lead, 110-20. A book of what American woman's paintings probably includes her work called July 4th, which she painted at age 91 and which is featured on her postage stamp? Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Incorrect. I can repeat the question now for Montrose. A book of what American women's paintings probably includes her work called July 4th, which she painted at age 91 and which is featured on her postage stamp? No takers there. Anna Mary Grandma Moses was the answer we were looking for. Question number 28 between Montrose Meteors and Notre Dame Crusaders. This mountain range has a western section near the Bay of Biscay and spans provinces named Haut Gironde and Barcelona. Identify this mountain range that includes the nation of Andorra and whose? Kurt Golden, Notre Dame.
The Pyrenees.
Pyrenees mountains are correct. Question 29. Zeus gave her 3 special gifts, including a javelin that never missed its target. Name this Phoenician princess carried off to Crete by Zeus while he had the form of a bull, who is now the namesake of both a chemical element and a continent. Dagan Giannoni, Montrose.
Europea.
Europa. Yes, that's correct. I'm going to consider that a pronunciation change, and I'm also going to consider the score and that there's one question left. All right, Montrose Meteors and Notre Dame Crusaders, 120-40. Here we go with 120 point question left. Landmarks in this city include the graveyard where Soren Kierkegaard and Niels Bohr are buried, as well as a statue of Hans Christian Andersen. Sophia McMaster, Notre Dame.
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Copenhagen is correct. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of this match between Notre Dame Crusaders and Montrose Meteors. Man, I love the attitude from the Montrose Meteors. You guys are just having a ball over here. I mean, you're just kind of going for it, right? Like, just do it. You guys have been really awesome today. It was fun to watch you up against SVE, Spencer Van Etten earlier, and now Notre Dame. Unfortunately, that's the end of the line for you guys for this year for Scholarship Challenge. What year are you guys in school?
I'm a senior, junior,
Senior.
junior,
Okay, will we see the juniors back next year?
possibly.
Possibly. Never know. This year we changed the rules up a little bit to make freshmen and sophomores also eligible to participate in Scholarship Challenge. That works very well for a lot of school districts to help field out a team. But we appreciate Stephanie Somerville, Dagan Giannoni, Haley Zapolsky, and Miranda Walter for coming up here today from the Montrose Meteors. You guys did a great job. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations to the Notre Dame Crusaders. You guys have now secured a spot in the Scholarship Challenge Finals on Saturday, March 11th, here in the Sayre Theater at 10 a.m. You guys did a wonderful job today. Thank you for being here. Isabella Hazelton, Sophia McMaster, Stephen Dortana, Kurt Golden. A round of applause, please, for Notre Dame. As we wind down the broadcast today, we want to once again thank our judges, thank our sponsors, FCCB, Williams Toyota, and the remaining sponsors as well, including CNN Bank, Dandy Mini Marts, Elderwood at Waverly, Elmira College, Guthrie Community Credit Union, IRFCU, Jeff Paul Plumbing and Heating, Landy and Rossetti, the Guthrie Clinic, Tioga ASAP Coalition, Tioga State Bank, Valley Energy as well. Appreciate you guys supporting Scholarship Challenge. A big thanks to Elaine Poost and her crowd here at the Bradford County Regional Arts Council, who will be hosting Gatsby, a radio play on this stage just a few hours from now, and again tomorrow for a matinee at the Sayre Theater. Hope you'll consider taking that in. And we hope you'll join us back here again next Saturday at 10 a.m. for Scholarship Challenge. Thanks to our sponsors, our patrons, for whom without their support this would not have been possible. A huge thank you to our Radigan Media staff that have spent countless hours making Scholarship Challenge happen while running our 17 stations at the same time. For my wife, our Vice President, Irene Radigan, Station Manager, Sherry Iyer, our entire production crew, the judges, volunteers that spent their Saturday with us. Until next week, I'm Dave Radigan. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and thank you for listening today to the FCCB Scholarship Challenge.